It's Chicken Soup for the Soul reading day today, and since it's getting close to back to school time, we're going to read 2 stories. The first one is called The Lesson Plan, and this is about teaching and learning. The art of life lies in a constant readjustment to our surroundings, says Akakuro Kukuzu. It was just an ordinary day. The children came to school on buses. There was the usual hubbub of excitement as they greeted each other. I looked over my plan book, and I never felt better prepared to face that day. It would be a good day, I knew, and we would accomplish a lot. We took our places around the reading table and settled in for a good reading class. The first thing on my agenda was to check workbooks to see that the necessary work had been completed. When I came to Troy, he had his head down as he shoved his unfinished assignment in front of me. He tried to pull himself back out of my sight as he sat on my right-hand side. Naturally, I looked at the incomplete work and said, "Troy, this is not finished." He looked up at me with the most pleading eyes I have seen in a child, and he said, "I couldn't do it last night because my mother is dying." The sobs that followed startled the entire class. How glad I was that he was sitting next to me. Yes, I took him in my arms and his head rested against my chest. There was no doubt on anyone's mind that Troy was hurting. So much, though, that I was afraid his little heart would break. His sobs echoed through the room, and tears flowed copiously. The children sat with tear-filled eyes in dead silence. Only Troy's sobs broke the stillness of that morning class. One child raced for the Kleenex box, while I just pressed his little body closer to my heart. I could feel my blouse being soaked by those precious tears. Helplessly, my tears fell upon his head. The question that confronted me was, what do I do for a child who is losing his mother? The only thought that came to my mind was, love him, show him you care, cry with him. It seemed as though the whole bottom was coming out of his young life, and I could do little to help him. Choking back my tears, I said to the group, "Let us say a prayer for Troy and his mother." A more fervent prayer never floated to heaven. After some time, Troy looked up at me and said, "I think I will be okay now." He had exhausted his supply of tears, and he had released the burden in his heart. Later that afternoon, Troy's mother died. When I went to the funeral parlor, Troy rushed to greet me. It was as though he had been waiting for me, that he expected I would come. He fell into my arms and just rested there a while. He seemed to gain strength and courage, and then led me to the coffin. There he was able to look into the face of his mother, to face death even though he might never be able to understand the mystery of it. That night I went to bed thanking God that he had given me the good sense to set aside my reading plans and to hold the broken heart of a child in my own heart. What a story. We often don't know what's going on in children's personal lives as they go back to school. And I hope that this story might reach teachers and give them pause before they're so hard on poor children just trying to survive sometimes down here in not so pleasant domestic circumstances. The story is from Sister Carleen Brennan, and it is called The Lesson Plan.